Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the I Do Wedding Marketing Podcast. My name is Nina Adio, and I am coming to you both through our podcast as well as on YouTube. So be sure to subscribe on either platform to hear how slowly integrating this content onto YouTube is going. I will, of course, be keeping you guys posted on this journey on YouTube. I'm not stressing about it. That's the goal, to not stress, because typically I haven't been making video content of the podcast because I would get so wrapped up in, well, I don't know if I can dress up every time I'm ready to talk, or I don't have, I don't want to set up my camera and my tripod. So right now I'm just using my webcam and just going for it. So thank you guys for watching along and following along. So, because part of this is on video, you guys on the podcast won't hear it, but this is how I do. I always show you my mug, and I am having some cranberry ginger ale in a Harry Potter butterbeer mug. I got this from they made a Fantastic Forest Harry Potter experience that was up in Westchester, New York. And I went to it with a long, long time friend, and it was a blast. So, cheers to that. Now, I'm recording this on December 20th. We are 5 days away from what we consider the peak day of engagement season, right? Christmas. And over the next few weeks and for some months, we're going to see those inquiries trickling in. It can be really overwhelming because there's a lot to think about and focus on this time of year. So I don't want to be overwhelming you or contributing to that by giving all these plans and things you have to do. So instead, I condensed it down to a concise list of 3 things you can do to get your wedding business ready for 2023. So let's do it. The first thing I want you to do is to review your lead sources. Go back and review your 2022 year of leads. If you haven't done this already, I want you to do a year-end analysis of where your leads came from and the percentage that booked. Okay, that second part is just as important because that's going to be really relevant to your sales process and your future marketing process. So, depending on what systems, CRMs, or lead sources you have in place, getting this data could be easy or it could be challenging. Back in the day, one of the venues I worked in house for, we used to have to tally them from paper inquiries, and it's not because this was like decades ago. It wasn't. They just had dated systems, and that's okay. If your systems are dated, it doesn't mean you should skip this process. Like, I don't care if you have to go back into your emails or whatever it is. It's really, really going to be important, and especially seeing how the system didn't work for gathering this information, it may help you decide how you want to change up this information for the future. So, for others, though, this may be easy. You may already have this data input on Honeybook or can be pulled from your website, etc. But what's important to look at is which leads are coming from your paid sources, right? I want you to know that. Which ones are coming from the not local ads, maybe Facebook ads you ran, and which are coming organically. Maybe they're coming from referrals, maybe they're coming from organic social media marketing, Google, etc. So think about all that, make categories for each of them. Now I want you to pair that data with the booking rate. So if your number one lead source was a paid booking site, did a paid listing site like Wedding Wire, The Knot, did any of these leads book? So if they did, fantastic. If they didn't, let's think about it. So I encourage you to ask this because this is how you're going to determine your 2023 advertising budget. So let's say if you spent $8,000 a year on a digital listing site, maybe it was a local one, maybe one of the bigger ones, doesn't matter. Just, look at how much you spent. Let's say you spent $8,000 a year on a digital listing site. You got 30 leads, awesome, with 0 booked. You're not making a return on investment. Even if that was your biggest lead source, it could be that they're not attracting the right leads for you. So now let's say you spent more than that. Let's say you spent $13,000 a year on social media marketing. You got the same amount of leads. Let's just say, for example, 30 leads and 15 book. You're getting more targeted leads and a return on investment right there. Even if you got less leads, even if you got 15 leads rather than 30, and 10 booked or 5 booked or whatever it is, you're getting a better return from that than you are from the other source. So that's what I want you to look for. So see where you want to focus on your investments on in 2023 by looking at that data. It could be most come from word of mouth, which is awesome. So that's what you want to check, and that's how you can decide, I'm going to spend more here, or you may go, wow, I can spend less, and wouldn't that be awesome for you? So once that's done, the next thing I would do to get your wedding business ready for 2023 is to check up on your website. So there's a lot that can go into this. I know my mission in the beginning was not to overwhelm you, but some things you can look into. Have you added new testimonials? Maybe even asking for them, right? At the end of the year is a good time to do that. Do any of your promotional packages include the year on it, or anything on your website? Now booking 2022 weddings. Make sure that's changed. Make sure anything out of date is going to be updated. Do you have any new offers you want to add? Are all your links correct, live, and working? Maybe all that's good, but you want to spend these next few days working on a blog post or two. These are just a few things to consider for the day you devote to your website. So if you don't know what you're looking for or where your website needs work, I would recommend wedding website expert Brian Lawrence. He's really terrific, and he actually offers 2-hour website consult calls for $500. And in that 2-hour session, you'll get everything you need to know and the straightforward information on what you can do to improve your website for 2023. So that's Brian Lawrence Weddings, and that's something I want you to consider, because I speak more in social media rather than websites. So that's a source for you guys. And then the third thing I'd love for you to do to get your wedding business ready for the next year is to identify your goals. So I don't know about you, but I do really well with a specific target. So one of my goals for next year is just have more speaking engagements. So rather than just having that be the goal, have speaking engagements, have more speaking engagements. I set a goal of how many I want to book for 2023. So for me, I'm starting small, 6. Okay, so that's 1 every other month. I already have 2. So now my mind's going, okay, I just need 4 more for 2023. And it kind of helps me feel my progress and where I'm going. So let's talk about weddings and wedding professionals. For vendors who mostly book year of, photo booth companies, favors, things like that, you're going to be focusing mostly on 2023. And then for others who book far out, you're going to be focused on maybe the end half of 2023, 2024. Maybe your goal is to fill some last minute bookings and get more of those. So that still could be totally relevant. But what I want you to really think about is how many weddings you want to book for 2023. Is it straightforward, 1 every weekend, 52? Is it 2 every weekend? Is it 104? What are these goals? Are you there yet? How many left to go? I love the idea of seeing it trickle down, or putting it on a graph, or filling it every time you get one. So keep a record of it and track your progress, and do the same for 2024, and when you're ready, 2025. Always kind of just keep those goals just on the forefront, and keep your target clear and in focus, and adjust it when and as you make progress. I love to even reward myself, and I think this would be even better if you have a team to reward when you hit mile markers. Like perhaps after you book your first 10 weddings, the office gets to order breakfast in, or just some sort of fun incentive. I think I may have to do that. Ordering myself lunch, because that's what keeps me going. So I promised I wouldn't overwhelm you with a big list of things to do. So I'm going to keep it at that. I'm going to keep it at those 3 things. And I want to remind you that there are 3 ways you can work with me right now. So one is with an Instagram audit. This is where I give you tangible steps to generate more traction from your Instagram profile, give you a grade on your Instagram profile, let you know what's working, what isn't, and so forth. The next step up would be for a full-on social media strategy call. It's a 90-minute call where I give you the complete roadmap, how to market your business and what tools I'd use to do it. The only difference is you're in the driver's seat doing the content and the posting and not me. So then, of course, the final way to work together is with the full service social media management. And you can review all of these options over at my website, idoweddingmarketing.com. So if you've already set goals for your business, I'd love to hear about them in the comments of this video on YouTube or via Messenger on Instagram at I Do Wedding Marketing. And most importantly, thank you for being here, guys. Your time is valuable, and I appreciate you spending it with me. Thank you.